Today, we're diving into a world that's all around us, on us, and even inside us, but it's completely invisible. We are, of course, talking about microbes, and we're going to try to answer a big question. Are they friend or are they foe? You know how it is. Since we were kids, we've been told to fear germs. Wash your hands, don't touch that. They're the bad guys, these tiny invaders out to make us sick. But is it really that simple? Is that the whole story? Okay, just to give you an idea of the sheer scale we're dealing with, get this. In a single gram of soil, I'm talking about the weight of a paperclip, there can be up to 10 million bacteria. 10 million. They are literally everywhere. So before we can put them in the friend or foe category, we need to be clear on what we're even talking about. So what exactly is a microbe? The simple answer, it's any living thing that's too small to see with your own eyes. You need a microscope, period. And they are everywhere. The sciencey word for it is ubiquitous, which just means from the deepest parts of the ocean to the air you're breathing right now, they've set up shop.
All right, let's start with what we all know, the bad guys. Let's look at the microbes that have definitely earned their scary reputation.
First up, viruses. And check this thing out. It looks like an alien lander from some sci-fi movie, right? This is a bacteriophage, which is a fancy name that literally means bacteria eater. Its whole structure is basically a perfect little invasion machine.
And here's its game plan. It's like a 5-step heist. First, it attaches, docking onto a poor, unsuspecting cell. Then penetration. It injects its own DNA. After that, it hijacks the cell's own machinery, turning it into a virus factory. Then the new parts get assembled, and finally, the grand finale, lysis. The cell literally explodes, releasing hundreds of new viruses to go do it all over again. It is brutally effective.
But it's not just viruses, of course. Bacteria get a bad rap for a reason. I mean, look at this list of heavy hitters. Tuberculosis, tetanus, pneumonia, a whole bunch of nasty diseases. Each one has a different way of getting to us, but the end result is not great.
And we can't forget about fungi. You might just think of mushrooms on your pizza, but some of them have a much darker side. Certain molds can produce these really nasty poisons called mycotoxins. Aflatoxin is a famous one. It can grow on crops like corn and peanuts, and it's one of the most cancer-causing things we know of.
So, there you have it, the microbe most wanted list. Looking at that, it's pretty easy to see why we're all a bit scared of germs. But here's the big question. Is that the whole story? Just take a look at this. It's like a giant family tree of all microbial life. You can see the big groups, bacteria, fungi, viruses. But here's the thing you have to see. The pathogens, all those bad guys we just talked about, they make up just a few tiny, little branches on this enormous tree. The vast majority of microbes have absolutely nothing to do with making you sick.
So how do scientists make sense of all this diversity? Well, they start with a fundamental split. You've got prokaryotes on one side, think bacteria. Their cells are pretty simple. No main nucleus, their DNA is just a single loop, not a lot of fancy internal parts. Then you have the eukaryotes, that's fungi and also us. Our cells have a true nucleus that holds our DNA, and they're packed with all sorts of specialized little organs.
So, if you're a scientist with a mystery microbe, what's your first step? For bacteria, one of the oldest tricks in the book is the Gram stain, developed way back in the 1880s. It's actually really clever. Depending on the structure of their cell wall, the bacteria either stain purple, and we call them gram-positive, or they stain pink, and we call them gram-negative. It's a critical first clue for identifying your suspect.
Okay, so we've mapped out the world. We've seen the diversity. Now let's completely flip the script. It's time to meet the overwhelming majority of microbes, the unsung heroes who are absolutely essential for life on Earth.
Let's look at fungi again. We saw their dark side, but their helpful side is way more important. They are the planet's master recyclers. They break down all the dead stuff and return crucial nutrients to the soil so new things can grow. And, oh yeah, a fungus also gave us penicillin. You know, just one of the greatest medical breakthroughs in all of human history. No big deal.
And bacteria? They're the ultimate support system. They're the tiny chefs that ferment milk into yogurt and cheese. We use their enzymes in laundry detergents, and even to help clean up massive oil spills. And in farming, their role is nothing short of a miracle.
This cycle shows you exactly why. The air all around us is almost 80% nitrogen. But here's the catch. Plants and animals can't use it like that. It's like a pantry locked from the outside. Well, nitrogen-fixing bacteria have the key.
They're the only organisms that can grab that nitrogen from the air and fix it into a form that plants can actually absorb. Without them, the entire food web just collapses. It's that simple.
So it's not about friend versus foe, is it? It's so much more complicated. They are a fundamental part of our world. And that brings us to the final and most personal part of this story, our own direct relationship with them. Here's a mind-bending idea for you. You are not just you. You are an ecosystem. All the microbes living on your skin and inside your gut, that's what's called your normal microbiota. They're your permanent residents, your own personal microbial community.
And these little residents aren't just freeloading. They're earning their keep. They are literally your personal bodyguards. They form a living shield, taking up all the good real estate so invading pathogens can't find a place to park. They eat up nutrients, starving out the bad guys. They even produce their own toxins to fight off pathogens and help train your immune system. They're not just neighbors, they're part of your defense team.
The great microbiologist Louis Pasteur really said it best. The role of the infinitely small in nature is infinitely large. He absolutely hit the nail on the head. The impact these tiny things have on us and our planet is just immense.
So that's the duality, isn't it? Microbes can cause devastating pandemics, but they also hold the keys to life-saving medicines and a healthier planet. They are our greatest threat and our most essential ally. So the question for us going forward isn't how do we win the war on germs? The real question is, how do we learn to manage this incredibly complex, delicate, and vital relationship?